what does it mean to go home? Like, we all have homes at one point in our lives. Sometimes we may go on and be homeless. So I just was really interested in investigating those ideas of what home is. I purchased this house back in 2003, and I was going to restore it in a typical way. I was going to live in it. And I got into it. I started peeling away the layers of wallpaper and the paneling, the carpet, and little to my knowledge, this is what was holding up the house. So part of this is the hearth, the fireplace. I think that's the heart of the home in many ways. If you look back in history, and it just had this beautiful, enormous fireplace that we discovered, behind these layers of wallpaper and plaster, and started looking at different ways of approaching this house as art. What do I do with this now? Do I paint it? Do I draw it? Do I keep it? Do I tear it down? Do I keep pieces of it? Do I take molds of it? I mean, there were just a lot of different ideas. You can see those, in the different drawings, and I went through all these different versions of it, and it was interesting because at the end of it, like the process, this creative process, I dug up this one drawing in my notes that was back from prior to my studies, and it had just a real simple drawing of the facade of the house, and it was drawn in concrete, and all that would remain then would be a cast of the original front of the house. So the whole original house would be removed, but what would be put back in place would be a replica of the front of the house. There were two reasons for building the model that I can think of at the moment. One was for me to better understand what that would look like. Now, I more or less knew what it would look like even today, what it will be, full scale. But it was to sell the project. There was a lot of people I needed to communicate what was going on. And even today, people just don't understand it. I try to explain it to them, and they're like, or they say, yeah, sure, that's what it is. So I needed something that was just as crystal clear as it could be. I know that'll bring pride to the community. It brings something new here. I'm doing the best I can, to get people involved with it, to share in the building of it, donating, even cash to it. But all of this, involves people being part of something bigger. Because I try to stay humble through it all, because I don't know what's going to happen, really. You never know what's going to happen. You just hope for the best, and that's what I hope. I put this out there. I hope people like it. I hope my friends like it, and see what happens.